Hey guys, getting ready to head out. I am late as per usual. I'm gonna go camp with my friend Talon, who I actually haven't camped with in a while because he basically hasn't been home in months. And surprisingly, our schedules are very hard to align. So we're gonna go camp today. I thought I was gonna be ready on time, but I forgot I got this tent, I'll tell you more about it later, and hadn't even mounted it yet. And so mounted it, I hadn't even unboxed it yet. So unboxed it, mounted it, got some other stuff ready, and now I'm kind of late. Had a lot of other stuff going on. I'll probably update you later, maybe, fireside or whatever, but we don't have a whole lot here. I'll update you on the setup. Talon's bringing a fire pit, so I'm just bringing extra propane. Made some progress on that. New tent. I just got, some little crap inside. Sleeping bag, duffel. Yeah, not bringing much because I'm sort of running late. But some bad stuff's been happening to me. Sweet. Maybe I'll tell you more about this later. I've basically, in my 39 years of life, a couple months ago was the first accident I had ever been in the Gulf. And almost immediately after I got in a second accident. This one was actually my fault, just by pure negligence. Not distracted, not on the phone, nothing, not speeding, just I didn't see. So that's a bummer. So insurance has been super slow and a pain to work with when I got hit the Gulf. So that is still damaged. Maybe I'll get that fixed one day. And then I came out here to my car to a pool of oil. This is not water. This is all oil. I've actually cleaned up, quarts of it already. I found out that my oil pan cracked. I hit like a rock or something, I guess, that I thought was a chunk of ice. So I have that up, replaced it, put a new steel one in there, and then I went and got an oil filter. And even though it says it's for this car, it is the wrong size. So this isn't back on the road yet, but it will be soon. The funny thing is, I got this shield. They call it a street shield, ECS street shield. It's essentially, a little aluminum skid plate for the Gulf. But even though I had the skid plate, it still cracked the oil pan, which is crazy. Anyway, that's my life lately, but it sucks because I was supposed to go out to C4 in a week to install the bumper, but I don't want to do that until I fixed all the stuff there. We were going to do some before and after videos, and now it's ruined. I ruined it. But I do need to replace a few things before I even do the bumper, even though I'm going to cut a bunch of it off. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I need to replace there. Also working with insurance on that one. So I have had a streak of bad luck, and yes, I bought a lottery ticket, and maybe I'll buy a couple more because I'm ready for my positive karma return. Because if you only knew the half of what has been going on in my life for the last 6 months, it's been bad. But I'm gonna get out camping. Camping's always good. The truck is drivable. I have a few sensors on and warnings on and whatnot, so I thought about maybe taking the Tundra, but this tent doesn't really fit on it, and I'm continuing the warpath of rooftop tent reviews. So I'm gonna take this one on, even though it has some lights on for me. I drove it a little bit. I think everything will be okay, hopefully. But like I said, I'm late. I'm trying to get Talon already sent me the spot. He got out there early. He had to film some other stuff. So I'm just trying to make it out there before dark. So I'm gonna leave and I'll sync up with you guys on the road. I made it to the spot. Talon's been here for a bit. He's all set up. I'll give you a little look at his setup here in a second. It's windy. It's super windy. I guess got an alert on my phone, red flag warning, which means like fire danger, which is kind of funny because there's snow on the ground, but when it's dry and low humidity and super windy, that's when forest fires go crazy. Not too worried about it out here, but mostly that just means it's crazy windy, which it is. Talon's setup, pretty sick actually. So this is Talon. It's been a bit. He's been traveling for a while, but he's got his Tundra, which I've camped with him in his Tundra before, but this is new. So this is called the Anti-Shanty Dwell Shell, a company that makes, maybe they're more known for trailers, but they make an interesting pop-up in that this is actually hard shell. I'll show you, maybe we'll hang out in here if it's too windy and frigid, but it's a lot of things about it are like a lot of other kind of pop-up wedge style campers. The main difference is that it's a hard shell, so it does great in the wind and is a little bit insulated in there. So that's a pretty slick set, and it has the sliding rear window. It's one of the main things that I'm bummed about with my future GFC is no slide windows, so no pass through from the rear cab. I think that's a swing and a miss, but keep costs down, I guess. So got here, he's got diesel heater set up here. I didn't bring a heater, but I did bring a electric blanket. So I haven't even popped this tent open yet. This is the inspired Overland, I don't even know what it's called, the tent, but it's the carbon fiber tent. So it's got a carbon fiber top up here. Ooh, carbon fiber. I'll do a full review on it later. It's not, super, I don't think I can stand on this. I'll have to do, I don't know a whole lot about it. I need to do a little more research on it. I think there are crossbars available that you can get for it, but I don't have, so I'm just gloss carbon fiber across the top. Dimensions, if you can see, are pretty much perfectly in line with the roof rack, the up top kilo. So the width of this tent is about perfect on this truck. And then other than that, I just have, again, a propane tank I brought for the howl if we sit around there. I got the camping bin. I got this new thing. I don't know if I'll show it because it's just so windy. I may just use a jet boil that I have in my duffel bag. But this is the GSI Pinnacle Pro. And if I didn't tell you guys, I'm building out this little Pelican vault that I have hard mounted here. And I don't know if I've shown this little update, but the intention for this is to have basically this folds down like that, and then Micah head up top, and he really made this real quick, and then I just figured out the hinge mechanism and mounting and everything. So this is now a table. The cool thing about this, I don't have it mounted there yet, but I'm gonna basically hard mount this to the table. And this thing is so thin that this actually folds up there. So this is basically gonna be a fold down, and again, nothing is really finalized here. So it's not quite done, obviously. But this thing folds up. It has a little windscreen that folds out as well. And that'll be chilling there. So then I'll just have this easy kind of camp kitchen setup over here. And then I'm actually just gonna put the foam back in here and cut out everything for like everything in here. And then maybe I'll get an awning off the side of this to cover it. But that's the latest there. Pretty cool setup, I think. And then I didn't actually bring the ladder because I put this tent pretty forward on the rack setup. So that way I can just go from tailgate to Diamondback into the tent, and I won't need a ladder, at least for now. That's just what I'm gonna do this time. And then we got the folding table up there. and everything is set. Talon brought the little mini howl, the R4. Or the R1 rather, the R4 is the big one. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna pop this tent, make sure it has everything. Hopefully it does, because or it's inside the tent. But basically I had a box with the ladder and I didn't bring the ladder, and I just mounted it real quick before I came out, and that's all I got. Other than that, I got the Vertex duffel that I just kind of keep with junk in here all the time. So just threw in, you know, some water, sweatshirt, and just a little peak refuel, jet boil, toiletries, stuff like that in there. I got my EDC backpack that I just threw in. I do have that Forge Concepts bag. This is a Starlink Mini. Cheapy sleeping bag, pillow, and then a heated blanket in that, and then my camera gear. And that's really it. So I may not even get into the camping bin. I just grabbed it so I had it. And yeah, so I'm gonna hang out a bit with Talon, catch up. There's been a lot that has happened in the last 3 months where Talon and I haven't hung out. So those that know me know that when I go camping, I go to camp and have fun, and then secondarily, I film a video. So sorry, YouTube, but you guys are my second priority, which should be good. But I'll give you an update on Talon. Talon will give you an update on Talon at some point when he's ready, but there's lots of stuff going on in Talon's life as well. And then, before the sun sets, I can't zoom in enough, but nice little view of Pikes Peak over here. Pretty slick. This is actually, we're kind of at the top of, I'm not gonna tell you exactly where we are, but people in the area know we're, you know, down outside of this, south of Denver, basically. And this trail system kind of goes up and up, and this is near the top of it. So this is kind of the windiest spot, which Talon chose to punish me because he's got a hard-sided camper and I got a little floppy guy. So this is, I know I mentioned it earlier, but this is maybe the thinnest and the lightest, or at least one of the thinnest and lightest hardshell wedge tents out there. So we'll see how it holds up. And yeah, I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. Just your friendly neighborhood reminder that only trash leaves trash, especially glass, broken bottles. You are a true legendary piece of garbage if you do that. So if you're watching this video, you're a piece of garbage. So got the tent pretty much set up. It basically has 2 rainfly poles that you can attach to that. Looks like you can also attach it to this part I rolled up here. Talon got the fire pit set up, a little cozy spot. Anyone else? Are these chips the best of all? I think so. Talon and I agree.
Gotta put salsa on the garden salsa chips.
Might be salsa overload. All right, so this is where I talk about pros and cons with tents. Last tent, the 4x4 Colorado tent, the biggest complaint really was the weight. This heavy tent. This is the opposite end of the spectrum. It's a very light tent. It's material, very thin. The zippers, very light duty. There's not even a floor in here. If you can tell, these are just poles. So when you get in here, it does have a condensation mat, which is good, though. And it does come, I'm guessing default with I believe this is a 3-inch self-inflating mattress. That's nice. A lot of good things on this tent. Has storage up at the top. It actually has 2 diesel or AC ports in here. It's a nice color. It's super light. It's super thin. These are pretty nice. I'll do a full review of this tent later, but These are pretty nice, but I'm guessing you know this is just mine, but I got a couple little holes, looks like, in my fabric. Again, just, I'm guessing that'll happen kind of easy. The zippers get stuck a little bit, but overall, not bad. The main thing is there's no floor. So you can't tell, maybe. Let's see if you can tell. This is a bar here. So when you're in here, I'm just sitting on a bar. So we'll see once this thing inflates. I forgot to bring an inflator deflator. Talon said he's got like a mini one that will see if it works. But it's should self-inflate some, but it's been open for about 5 minutes and it hasn't really inflated. It's pretty cold out, and the warmer it is, the easier it will be to self-inflate. But we'll see how self-inflated it gets here, and then I'll come back and give you a true how it is laying on the bars. But right now I can just feel them. So it's like a bar in my butt crack right now. I'm not opposed to it. Again, the idea of this tent is to shave weight. So when you have a tent that's full featured and super heavy, it has a lot of great features about it and it's heavy. When you have a tent that is super light, if being super lightweight is the main thing you're after and being super thin, which those are important factors, you're gonna have some compromises. So I won't not talk about those. They'll be there. But it's got a canvas over this, like a rip stop on the top here, and then I feel some bars here, and the other side of this is where that carbon fiber is. So, you know, it's a wedge tent. It's not bad at all. I think I'll sleep great in here, but we'll see. These are a little tight to roll up. I don't know. It made a little noise when I stretched it out. It didn't break off, so hopefully it's all good, but this is very tight. This is the bug mesh, and the outer does have some more pockets over here, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, not bad. Not bad overall. It's still super windy and continues to get colder. So we turned off the fire pit. I threw my bedding up in the tent, and I was gonna cook on my little fold out thing, but all the wind is just coming straight from this side. So I brought a jet boil as well. So I'm all kind of set up. I'll close that stuff down eventually. But Talon has a little diesel heater running into a diesel heater port up there. So we're just gonna hang out and probably cook dinner in here. And I've actually never been in here yet. So I'll hop in there and I'll give you a little mini tour, and we'll start warming the area up, and we'll probably just hang out there for much of the night as it gets colder and nastier outside until I just decide to come to bed. So that is what the night has in store. We might have a nice little sunset going on over in the distance eventually though. All right, we are in the mobile Talon, a man of many mobile homes.
Yeah.
Oh wait, my mic, is my mic? My mic's on, still on, my battery's gonna die. So this is the inside of the anti-shanty, some kind of molly. These are these side panels. I don't know where best to see it, but this is the side of the truck. This is a cab. Maybe you're disoriented. This is the front of the truck. This is the cab through this window here. So this is the side panel. He's open out. That's the tailgate. And yeah, so he's got fridge, power station. This is just a little box. And so we do have this above here. So it's kind of, you got to keep this bench low to sit back here, but then it's full height over here. and then you can basically stand up in this section. And it's super windy outside. I don't know if you can tell. I think you can tell from the trees out there just blowing around. But you wouldn't even know there's any wind in here because it's hard-sided with a little bit of like foam insulation here. So these windows, here, I'll show you on this side. It's lit up a little better. These are like little kind of RV windows that can pop open, and then this whole trapezoidal thing opens as well. So that's kind of cool.
And there will be bug screens that go in here. This thing's really new, so they have a bunch of products to develop for them.
Yeah, not a prototype, but these are pretty new to the market. Same deal, that panel opens out, and then same thing on this side. So
views.
Basically an awning out here. Ooh, how pretty. Look at these views out here. So this is the whole stand-up area. Obviously, I can't even touch the top. They have a fan, and then basically, so this is the panel that's always here. These are the removable panels that cover in this area, and then it's got this kind of little foam here. So this is like a good height if you wanted to do some work.
Yeah.
On a standing desk. Dometic fan. All these lights. These are kingpin, and they can go red to white and dimmable. This is cool. Cool in here. Okay, so here's the control.
Yeah, so you can dim it from here, and then on the light itself, you can change the color to red, which I typically have them as red.
Yeah, we were hanging out in here in red, but then filming it looked kind of weird, so figured we'd pop them all to white.
And USBs right here in your sleeping area.
Charge your phones. Nice. So right now, Talon has all that run into a little battery bank. That's a DJI something rather, but it's like your Goal Zero Jackery type setup. And that is run in his fridge. Solar is on the roof of this thing that goes into there. And then he's actually just got this little jacker over here running the diesel heater. So the diesel heater, actually there's a diesel heater port right here. So hot air is coming in through there, and he put this panel here so it's kind of angling, and it's not hot in here by any means, but it'll eventually warm up a little more.
Yeah, it warms up a lot when you close it off.
Yeah.
Obviously heat rises, so it's all warm up here, but down here a little colder.
Yeah, so this is really to heat, your sleeping area more so. There was a guy that added another one of those ports, I think something like here. So if Talon wanted to add one, then he could connect the hose. I think that guy did like a splitter and
it
was like...
It was like a Y split, which I'll probably do at some point, but it's the first day of spring, so
yeah,
it warms up.
Yeah, we're heading into spring and summer. So I think we're just gonna make some food on the old little jet boil. Got some LDs going on. Talon brought his own peak. He's got beef pasta marinara and a little cobbler.
Yeah, thanks, Peak.
Thanks, Peak.
They sent those out.
What did I got? I brought one. Yeah, what do I got? Chicken Coke Cur. Chicken Cokey Curry. Yeah. And then what else? We got Old Trapper. Teriyaki. That's about it. Cool. So that's the setup. We found shelter back here. It's getting dark and it's later now, so 7:36. It's like dinner time.
Yeah, it's soon time.
Cool. All right. And cook some food and hang out a bit, and then go back to my ice box eventually. Okay, so we are in the tent. I have just my cheapy sleeping bag, and then I actually borrowed an aeronaut quilt from Talon, so that'll be sick. And then I got my little heated blanket plugged in to the jackery there. It's pretty cold. It's not like wildly cold, so I think I'll be fine in here with no diesel heater or anything. Using some of this storage space here. It's hard to tell. I got a flashlight over here. So I got a hat and socks and some miscellaneous gear that I put in here. Got my boots over here, my duffel, weapons, and yeah, that's about it. Some midnight snacks. Threw some comfy socks on and my little thermals that I sleep in a lot of times when I camp when it's cold. And yeah, I'll go in bed. Jealous of Talon's setup a little bit, but this is nice so far. Right now, the mattress isn't super inflated, so I'm sitting. I do feel a bar under me, but I laid down to test it, and it's pretty comfortable. I don't feel any bars when I'm laying down. Again, I could inflate the mattress more, and I probably wouldn't even feel it when I sit down. But when I lay down, I don't feel any bars. It's the main thing that matters. Again, I'll do a full review once I have some final thoughts on this tent. But if you're trying to make the thinnest, lightest tent, there are going to be some compromises like that. So I don't necessarily knock it for that. It's just things to be aware of. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. Catch you in the morning. Good morning. I slept like crap. I don't really know why. I didn't feel uncomfortable. Like, mattress seemed fine and stuff. I maybe should have let a little bit of the air out, but I don't know. I was just tossing and turning all night, so I didn't sleep very good. My lens is a little fogged up right now. Interesting thing happened. There's a little, like, this doesn't close. There's a bug mesh that I'm realizing now I should have closed, but this doesn't close all the way, so I had my jacket kind of here to just block it, and I'm pretty sure my jacket must have fallen out, and it was super windy, so I gotta go out and see if I can find my jacket. Hopefully it's out there somewhere. I wasn't wearing the sweatshirt when I slept, but it was in my bag, so I threw it on to go search. And yeah, my battery's at 80%, so I use the heated blanket kind of off and on throughout the night. And yeah, overall not bad. It was pretty windy. The tent did okay in the wind. It wasn't super noisy or anything, but you could hear a little bit of this going on. So the zippers are just regular zippers. So they rattled a little bit, but they didn't, not a ton really. And then just kind of the sound of canvas, but overall wasn't bad. Yeah. But I'm gonna get up and start packing up. Good. There's my jacket. Didn't go too far. So for me, getting in and out of here was just tailgate, but when the tailgate's closed, you can use the bumper and then up onto the Diamondback and then just up into the tent. So I'm unloading right now. Diamondback actually great. I talk about this a lot, but it's basically a table, a shelf, a staging area. So when you're down here, you have this and then that, which is nice. So I do have the propane tank up over here as well. I'll probably do a driveway breakdown and just kind of show you what's going on back there, because my hands are very numb right now. So we'll get to packing up. All right, so I don't have a mattress deflator with me, so we'll see if this thing will close without really sucking the air out of it. I kind of laid on it and got some of the air out, but it's not flat. And the tent is very thin. So worst case scenario, we'll just have to take the mattress out and throw it in the truck. But we'll see. Yeah, I just forgot the deflator. This pole, they definitely started off straight, and now they're definitely bent. Still fitting in the bag though, so that's fine. It was cold. The water that left in the jet boil inside of Talon's camper actually was frozen. So don't know exactly how cold it got, but pretty cold. All right, so then he just got this handle. I'm on the tailgate, so I don't need to get it super low before I can just grab the top. And then these are all wedges, pretty much the same. Gonna tuck the fabric in pretty far. My hands are completely numb though, so I don't feel a whole lot of what I'm doing. It's not looking like it's gonna close without deflating the mattress though. Maybe. I don't know how. The carbon fiber top is definitely pretty thin, so I don't know how much I want to force it. We'll see. We're ready to see how much we'll need to invoke the warranty. You know, I'm gonna open the valves and see if this pressure gets some of the air out. All right, definitely tight, but I think it'll be okay. This fabric definitely wants to burst out. We're closed up at least, and top not looking too bad. All right, well, I actually have to make it back, and I'm going with my family and a friend of mine's family to the zoo later today. A couple things to do before then, so I'm just gonna pack up and roll. Talon is packing up and rolling. Well, see you in another year, maybe.
See you next winter.
Now we'll probably camp a little more as the weather gets a little better and Talon isn't traveling quite as much. So yeah, I think I'll basically just talk to you back in the driveway though. So I actually, on the way home, grabbed a bunch of extrusion that I needed to clear out of a warehouse. So a little bit of mini truck stuff. It's not horribly, but tiny little bit squatted in the rear because of that. But let me get this out. Hey guys, we're in the driveway back from the little camping trip. This is 2 days later. My last couple days have been crazy. So this is the portion where I just kind of give you updates. I talk about, the gear I used for those that are interested, and then kind of just periodic updates on the truck if anything new has happened. I'm noticing all this stuff, like I don't even know. Got this gouge out of the fender here. Notice I got this little nick in my wrap. here, which, you know, I don't care too much. It's a truck, off-road truck that I just kind of beat up. And then, yeah, other than that, you know, we're in pretty good condition everywhere else. Nothing really to speak of. Did a little car wash. As you might have seen, I was curious if I could fit the last tent I had, the 4x4 Colorado tent. I couldn't fit in the car wash. It's just a little too high. I could still fit in an 8-foot high door with it. So this truck, even with the bigger tent, was less than 8 foot. And then I forget what the car wash was. I think it was 6.5 feet or 7.5 feet. So with this, I could still fit in the car wash. I'm noticing this little gap here. Don't really know what's holding that thing up. It's a little bit of play here. I'm guessing I could adjust some of that. So I'll do a full review of this tent later. Again, this is the Inspired Overland carbon fiber, thinnest, lightest, and it does look really cool. I mean, it's so thin. It's light, as you could see earlier. I just lifted it up, put it up there myself. One-man job, though. You know, if you're a little weaker, probably still not a one-man job. Just attached it to the rear and the front crossbar. I did flush it up back here so that way I could access it easier, like I showed earlier in the video, by just getting up on the Diamondback and climbing up. If I had offset that a little further back, that little step up would be a little weird. It just does come with a ladder though, so I could use the ladder obviously like a normal tent, and probably I'd throw it on that side. I'll talk more about that in the full review. I actually need to reach out to them and get a little information, because I don't know a whole lot about this tent, honestly. I picked it up from Spirit of 1876, a shop down in Castle Rock. Mike over there helped arrange basically this tent. I think he's gonna give me like a discount to give to you guys. I don't know. I'll put that down in the video description if you're interested, but I will talk more about that in the dedicated tent review. Some of my main questions are, I'm guessing I can't stand on this. Like, I'm guessing that'll break. Don't wanna break it needlessly. And then I may try to see about the crossbars that go in this channel. But yeah, the tent, again, low features to keep the weight down. Material is thin, zippers are lightweight. The name of the game with this tent is lightweight and thin. So when I speak maybe, you know, what could be construed as negatively on the tent, just know that it's not necessarily negativity on the tent, because the idea of this tent is to be thin and light, not beefy and robust. So there's gonna be some things like that. So if you just need the thinnest, lightest tent, then you gotta be willing to make those compromises. I'll mess around a little bit more. There was another gasket strip that was shipped with the tent that I don't know if that's meant to be put on or what, but I think it was just a strip basically to put on. This is just a 80/20 1x1 channel. That's the mounting rail there. I think it was just to put on the bottom of that. But I mean, overall, tent, you know, was fine. It was a shelter. It's quick to set up. The mattress was decently comfortable. I've just been having trouble sleeping when I've been out camping. I'm a little wuss or something now. I just can't, I don't know. I just can't get that comfortable, even though, again, like, this was comfortable. The 4x4 Colorado tent I slept in, the mattress was, it's not as comfortable as my mattress at home, obviously, but like comfortable enough to where I feel like I should sleep, and I just sleeping horribly. So hopefully I can fix that. So that's it with the tent. I think I may get one other camp in before I do the review on that. But other than that, it was just what I said in the video. Brought the Jackery 1000. This is camera gear. Some of this stuff was in the bed of my truck, but since I had that extrusion back there, I just threw it in the back seat. sleeping bag, tool bag, the Vertex RLT, I think, 50 liter, which has been basically my go-to duffel, flannel, pillow. That's about it. I did bring the 20-pound propane tank. Oh, this is actually nice. So when we got back, I deflated the tent with this guy. This is a Flex Tail. I don't actually know if I have an affiliate account with them, but you double click for the light and there's a few things, a few different modes. So this is a lantern and an inflator and a deflator. And you can see, obviously pretty small. The lantern mode has like a clip so you can hang it. So it's kind of a cool little dual purpose lantern slash pump, USB-C rechargeable. And then I used this connector to deflate it and got the mattress super deflated. I know it comes in a few colors. They did send this out to me to try out, but not sponsored, not paid, anything like that. I was just trying it out. And it worked great and super small. So that's nice. That's what I meant to bring and forgot it. So I wasn't able to deflate the tent, if you remember, all the way. So closing the tent was very hard, but with the mattress deflated, closing it is easy. I don't think you can really store any bedding up there other than maybe like a pretty thin blanket with the mattress fully deflated. So just to note, if you are going out, definitely get ready to deflate that if you want to be able to collapse it very easily. This is just strapped to the bed rack like I talked about earlier. I talk about it a lot. The Diamondback setup here, you have the tent up high so you can run the longer tents here. So full height bed rack, you can mount accessories and whatnot, and then you can store stuff on top either when you transport or not. I have a clear view out the back, which is nice. This, I actually bought this little mount that I just bolted. It's a little dark back here, but bolted there and then there in some existing holes. I could drill, one more hole if I wanted to. But then I did, you probably don't need to, but I did drill one hole in the far side of the base as well through the Diamondback cover. So this thing isn't going anywhere, the mount. Now it does just have the one strap, which is probably sufficient, but I don't like when there's just one thing holding, like if that flies off, that's gonna be a bad day for me and someone else. So I just have this strap on that's kind of just a secondary thing. You could use any kind of strap. I just had a bungee, so I bungeed it on there. So that probably be okay. This is more like safety chains on a trailer. And then this was actually just strapped in when I picked up the extrusion. I had it in the bed and then just strapped it in. So that actually held fine there. No mount or anything, just boom, right there. Nothing in the bed. Last fit bed liner. I had a bunch of wood back here previously, so I need to pull this liner out and rinse it off because it's a little grody. And then other than that, yeah, I just had the Pelican here. I'm testing some stuff out. Actually, I got the new Anchor F3800. I have the old F3800 there and the new F3800 and a couple extra batteries here. So I just threw 1200 watts of solar up on the roof for testing, just kind of syncing up on some projects. And then I got this. Pack Mule sent this out. This is the Pro that actually just launched today. Well, it's actually launching tomorrow, but I think I'll post this video on the day of launch. So this is the Pack Mule Pro. It can hold 650 pounds. Got a couple Pelican cables. I was just kind of testing it out to see how it locks tight, so it doesn't really wiggle when my camera's shaking, but it's super robust if you can shaking just the whole vehicle. So unrelated to this video, but I did take this Pelican, but I just brought it over just to kind of see what would fit on this baby. They have a smaller one called the Scout, but this I guess will come in raw aluminum and black. They only had the aluminum to send out. As this is a production model, but I was sent out before full production run had started. So I would probably go for the black just because that's my vibe. But Pack Mule Pro launching now. They did give me an affiliate link. And I was just curious on that because when I'm going full family deep, we'll need to carry gear. I got the roof rack, obviously, but some stuff, you know, I don't want to throw a cooler on the roof rack. So some, you know, longer, lighter stuff on the roof, some heavier, kind of chunkier stuff in the hitch carrier, and I think that'll be everything I need. I'm actually going through, well, I'm always going through, I'm going through a mission to clear off this wall of everything, so it's kind of in disarray. There's so many wagons and strollers and all kinds of crap that's just been kind of sprawled in that area. I want to hang them all up on the wall and just, I don't know, make that a little nicer. We're getting a little off course here. And then I showed you when we were out camping, the Pelican. It's just this, I haven't done anything more to it since when we were out camping, but I'll give you an update on that once I kind of build it out a little bit. And then one of the next things I'm doing once, after I fix this stupid accident junk, I think I talked about this earlier in the video. I'm not going to talk too much on it. Accident was my fault. I do have dash cam footage of it, but I don't feel like showing me getting into an accident that was my fault on the internet, so you could probably understand that. But it was just, I don't know, like, I wasn't distracted, I wasn't tired, I was in an unfamiliar area, kind of a lot of traffic. I was coming under an underpass, and it's kind of a weird place to have a light, and I was just kind of going, and I didn't see that I had a red light. So I wasn't going very fast, fortunately. Hit a guy that pulled out actually pretty fast from the intersection. None of my like, I don't have any like aftermarket bumper, nothing. I'm just hardly over stock height. All my sensors, adaptive cruise control, everything works properly. Everything was on, but I got no, like, I've had the sensor like beep at me like, oh, collision, you know, if there's someone stops really fast in traffic or whatever. And I've even had it apply brake, not in this, but in the Tundra. But this, I think it's got all the safety sense and everything up there and all the sensors and everything, but nothing. It just, nothing at all. I slammed on the brakes, and again, only hit this. It was a Saturn. Car's probably worth a couple $1,000, but I hit it probably at 10 miles an hour, like very slow, like no airbags deployed or anything like that. It was just, I caught the tail end of his car. He was fine, I was fine, everything was fine, but it did bend in his tire a little bit, but just ripped like new modern vehicles. There's 700 pieces that got damaged in here. Like if it was on my old Tundra or something, it'd be like the bumper and maybe one panel, and it would be so easy to fix. This, not even including the wrap, and they haven't actually fixed it yet, so they said, you know, it'll probably be more than that once they really get in here. $7,000. $7,000. Anyway, all that to say, I'm probably just going to order the pieces and fix it myself, because I don't need to fix all of it, because I'm essentially cutting this lower section off. Unfortunately, with the way these cars are made, it's so stupid. The bumper and grill, all of this support, the understructure is like one giant piece with a bunch of little brackets. So even though I'm going to cut this all off, I need to rebuy the whole bumper and the behind the bumper and the grill mechanism and the grill shutters and all this crap, even though it was just this. So I basically need to buy the whole support structure, the whole bumper, the whole under bumper, these little components here. Luckily my fender is all right, and this fender got bent out a little bit, but I kind of bent it back in, and this didn't. But this did break, the headlight, the brackets in there. So it has not been my last year, 6 months or so. It's been a rough time for me. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm going to take my truck out to South Dakota to actually Sturgis to C4. We're going to do full armor on that, which I was supposed to do next week. And they had plans, everything, and I kind of screwed them over with this. So my bad, C4 brothers, if you're watching this, I'm going to have to delay it. I started ordering pieces, but I'm not going to be able to quite get it all done in a week. Other than that, gonna start wiring on this truck. So it's the hybrid. My battery's in the back seat, even my starter battery and the hybrid battery. So I'm gonna run heavy gauge wire that I just bought up to a bus bar in the front so I can connect winch and maybe switch controller and stuff up there. And then I'm gonna run another bus bar back here because I think I'm gonna run a minimal dual battery setup back here. And then I have an ARB twin that CA Tuned sent out that replaces this little storage box and gives me a little compressor mount. So I need to run the wires to install that, which maybe I'll do this week. I thought this was like a truck update video, but I realized this is actually just the end of a Weekenderlander. So I better cut it short because this video is gonna be too long and my videos are always too long. So I think that's it for the driveway breakdown. I'll follow up with a separate once I do some wiring and have some more stuff to show. Maybe once I'm pulling this crap apart and replacing it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see any of that stupid crap I'm gonna have to do here. And then keep me in your prayers because I need it. I need it. But yeah, I guess update coming soon. Ask me any questions you want. Well, how are the 37s? Get whatever you want to know. I'll plan an update video soon. Fixed my oil pan yesterday. I got oil, if you guys know. So this is oil from when I didn't actually know. I started backing it out, and then my car gave all these warnings, and I got out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have no oil. So I backed out. And I got oil onto my asphalt. If you guys know of any product or any way to get oil off of your asphalt, let me know. Okay, I'm a little scatterbrained as well. Other updates that are kind of, I will get a lot of hate on, but other updates coming soon. But I'll save that for another video. But you can make some speculations. The preface is I will get a lot of hate on it. It's not anything super cool. It's something kind of, I got something that's relatively normal. They're pretty popular. Is mostly for Ashley. I don't know if I'm going to show a video, but I'll at least let you know, at least like get it in. But it's going to be controversial, wildly. So let me know if you have any guesses. But you'll see that in the coming month, probably. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Again, I try to put links down below to anything I talk about in the videos as often as possible. Those are affiliate links, so I do appreciate you taking the extra second to scroll down and find them. LLOD.us/coupons is where I try to keep all that stuff as well. And yeah, I really appreciate you watching this. I know it was kind of a boring Weekenderlander, but it was nice to get out, and I am trying to at least make little mini Weekenderlanders while I'm testing all these tents this year. And then we'll get back into the flow of like legit better Weekenderlander. Though the last Weekenderlander I thought was pretty dope and it didn't get a ton of views. So go watch that if you haven't yet. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you. Until next time, take care.